Hey everyone, Jay here from Modern Mississauga, and today we're checking out the 2018 Acura TLX A-Spec. This is one beautiful car. Let's start with a quick walk around. We start off with a good side shot for you. Before we do the walk around, looks very cool. Nice 19-inch tires that come on this specific package. It's the tech package, I believe. Checking my paper, yes, it is the tech package. Just a couple of things to point out. On the rear side, we have the A-Spec badging, which is right there, and the super handling all-wheel drive, which is right there, and of course the name of the car, the TLX, which separates the A-Spec. Also, there's a bunch of things, but a few things here. Start off with the tailpipes, dual pipes, same as the regular TLX, but the regular TLX has rectangular ones. These ones are circular, and they match the fog lights up front, which I will get to. Wow, let's just keep it. Let's try and do this in one straight take. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but there are diffusers along the back. What else are we looking at here? Oh, there's the sun. I'll give you the other side of it. Just, it's a good-looking luxury sedan. This isn't the greatest view, but we'll keep it for now. Like I said, 19-inch wheels. I'll get a quick close-up of those right there. Again, more A-Spec badging. I think I'm in the reflection. Yep, there I am. I'm just gonna get out of there. Before I do, turn signals integrated into the side mirrors. What's different up front is the hood's a little more defined than outgoing models. The big takeaway is the front grille. No longer do they have that beak or arrow or whatever it is. I wasn't a fan, some people were, but this is the second model in the Acura lineup to go for this mesh grille. It looks good. It's not quite menacing, it's a bit of a harsh word, but it's aggressive, and it gives the car a very nice look. Wow, I shouldn't have stumbled over such few words. I like the new front grille, Acura, well done. Also new, not quite new, but more revised, are the dual headlights. What you'll see, if I can come back to this later on, numbers 1, 2, and 3 are your night lights. The high beam is on, you get all 5, and the day runners are a thin strip up here and there, and those are also your turn indicators as well. LEDs all around. That's absolutely beautiful. Just to go back to the matching tailpipes, or not matching tailpipes, sorry, the fog lights that are the same shape as the tailpipes, circular up front, circular tailpipes at the back, as opposed to the rectangular ones for the standard TLX. There's a bunch of sensors here. There's one right there, and they're pretty much all around the car as well. Yeah, the outside looks really good. It's sharp, it's slick, it looks good, feels good. We'll do an in-car segment with driving a little later on in the video, but for now, let's oh sorry, one other quick thing. There's a little bit of a spoiler here. You see it there? Yeah, there it is. A little less chrome on this model as opposed to the regular TLX. So let's start in the rear seats. So thankfully Acura Canada gave me the beautiful model that comes with the red leather all the way throughout. I love it. It looks absolutely beautiful. Heated rear seats, those are your controls. Armrest with a little bit of cubby space and a couple of cup holders. Interestingly, there are no cup holders in the doors. I know some car manufacturers do that, but hey, it's no big deal really. Your pocket space in here, pocket space back there, your vents for the rear climate control. I'm gonna quickly just pop the trunk to show you just how much space you have in here. Up front, there's a little button right there. So we'll just jump around here. So I got a couple of things. I got a cat carrier because I have cats. I think everybody knows I have cats based off my Instagram account, but that's okay. And I play guitar. So the two important things, cats and guitars, in the trunk of the car. We'll just take it out for a sec. There's a lot of space back there, just to give you an idea of how much space we have. This is a full-size acoustic guitar, and I'm just going to throw it in diagonally So it fits nicely. There's a little bit of space back there, some space here, some space here, and I could still throw the cat carrier in here like that. So whether you have golf clubs, sorry, the seats go down as well, I should have mentioned that. Whether you have golf club, I already said that, wow, Jay. Groceries or amps or guitars or whatever it is you want to put in the back of the car, lots of space for it. Nice handle up here to close it so you don't get your fingerprints all over the deck lid of the car. So, and that's how we do that. So we're gonna jump up to the front seat now. It's a little hot at the end of July. So when you start the car, there's that little graphic there. And the main screen, Acura link shows up. Fingers don't show up, I promise. What are we going to start with? Let's start with the climate controls because it's a little warm, like I said. So simple, on off, and your climate stuff happens down here. It's on low, I like that. I want to change the direction from my feet to face and feet. That's at least that's what I call it. Pretty simple to use and figure out. Your fan speed is there, so push that and the bigger screen comes up. I'm just going to bring it down a touch. My air conditioning is on. I'm not going to bother with the sync, and yep, so there we are. It comes with heated seats, and it also has your 3 levels. So if you wanted to, so high, mid, and low. Good to have options. Still try a lot better than 2 options, whether it's blazing hot or not really hot enough to make a difference for you. What else can I tell you about the infotainment system, which is right here? I don't like that you can only see 3 presets at a time. Yes, it's easy to run through. So my lithium, my Ozzy's Boneyard, my Hair Nation. Yes, I grew up playing guitar in the 80s, so that's why I love my Hair Nation. And if you want to get to the next bank, there's a little arrow. Oops, that's not it. Right there. So I like my blues, I like my acoustic stuff, and big Guns N' Roses fan. But anyway, so if I wanted to be a little hotter in here, there's one for myself, one for the passenger. So we'll just push it up so it goes all the way from 16 to high, which is I believe 29, maybe 30. But again, it's a hot day in July, so I'm going to drop it down to 16, 15. Everything else seems pretty easy to use. You have your sources, so if you want FM radio, AM radio, Sirius XM, CDs, if there's anybody out there with a CD player, Bluetooth audio streaming right from your phone, which is great, or the auxiliary for something else that you have. I'm going to stick with my Sirius XM. I'm also going to turn the fan down a bit. It's a little loud. Further down, so this controls what happens on the top screen. We get them all in here? Almost. Anyway, so right now I'm on the navigation screen, which is right there. If I want to go to the phone screen up top, I just hit phone, and it gives me my different options. I'm going to use the turn, or the dial, and that helps me scroll through whatever it is that I need. If I go to info, which is the next button right there, I've got instant fuel economy, history of trip A, I'll go to trip B as well. Average fuel, so just all that kind of stuff that tells you fuel consumption. And thankfully this car has Bluetooth, and before I hook up my phone, just to show you what the Bluetooth will look like, I'm really impressed with what Acura did here. So in the middle there's a little console for your storage and stuff, so you just push it back and you have a little tray, which is pretty awesome as far as putting phone or change or just smaller, flatter things. But it also retracts to give you, let me get the cord out of there, to give you a little more space as well. It's how deep is it? Like a couple inches. Your power outlets there for your 12 volt, and here is the USB and sorry, get in there. Yeah, add to your USB cable connector, out and in. So we just plug my phone into this, and it says, do I want to always enable once or cancel for the Apple CarPlay. I will do enable once to activate it. You just push in the middle. Alright, well, here's part 2. So, lesson learned: when you plug in your phone to hook up the CarPlay and you're shooting a video, it'll cut out, but that's okay. So it says to access Apple CarPlay, please select the smartphone button. That's the button right there. So I'm just going to hit that. And there is the CarPlay. All the options you have. So very, very cool. Good work, Acura. Up front here, you just have your regular, your tach, your speedometer, your fuel, and your temperature gauge, instant fuel. Steering wheel's pretty nicely laid out. That's your volume. You can go left or you can go right to switch stations or tracks. Your Bluetooth and your source, AM, FM, Sirius, Bluetooth CD player, I think. Heated steering wheel, kind of a big button, kind of hard to miss in those winter days. And all across here, minus this and that, is your cruise control settings. So trip computer is, sorry, just that button there, and that gets me A and B and overall. The I with the scroller gets me the stuff at the top of the screen. So the very bottom one is blank. You have your settings, tire pressures, oil life. I think there's 975 kilometers. Yeah, so under a grand. So the oil life should be 100%. Navigation, sorry, direction, compass, super handling, all-wheel drive, dynamic mode. I've picked normal. To move out of that, I'll show that to you in a couple of seconds. My average speed, what is it, day 6, and I've done 300-ish kilometers, 321, 42 kilometers. Most of my driving has been in the city. I've driven in the car for 7 hours and 36 minutes, and the range from a half a tank of gas, pretty much exactly half a tank, is 315, so about 600, maybe 650 to a tank. If you're cruising on the highway, you can probably squeak that up to 700 plus. In eco mode. What else? And then my average fuel, and the bar here gives me the instant fuel economy as I go. I know not a lot of people are a big fan of this. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's innovation. It's just designs. It's the way things go. You know, people didn't like it when I can't even think of the last huge big change came in the auto world, like something that really made a big difference. I guess when seatbelts became mandatory, right? People were so used to driving without them, or when helmets became mandatory for professional hockey. Anyways, enough about that. It's the gear shift. It's more of a gear pad. So there's your park. Reverse, you got to push back on, right? And that just makes sure that you don't hit it by accident, right? Because that's a button for park. That's a button down for neutral. That's a button down for drive. Behind it is your dynamic mode, which we'll get into in a couple minutes. But there's no accidental reverse, right? I can push down on the reverse switch. Nothing's going to happen. I've got to purposely push back like that. It frees up a little bit of space in the front console, or sorry, the center console area. I like the lever. There's a little bit of a lag going between reverse and drive. Maybe half a second. Just I'm so used to having that lever, or a manual transmission where it's just, you know, one push, one pull, and you're in the gear that you want. As far as modes go for driving, that gets you everything you need. So I'm gonna put my finger, keep my finger on dynamic mode. We look up front. There's Econ, Normal, Sport, Sport Plus. I tend to live in Normal for city driving. Just there's no reason to go into Sport in the city. You can't really get up to speed or make the most of the car's performance out of that. So Sport is there. Sport Plus, it just tightens up the suspension a little bit. Just makes everything a little firmer, gives you that sporty feel. Econ, you know, if you're on the highway and cruising, you want to save a bit of fuel, jump into that. If you have Econ going on in the city streets, you'll notice a definite lag as far as pickup goes. What else can I tell you about the car? Those are the inside of the car anyway. So I'm just going to jump back to normal mode. Okay, that's good. Electronic parking brake is right there, and very cool in this trim, the auto start stop to save a little bit of fuel for you. I'm just gonna quickly go off the spec sheet here. The music has ended. Please switch. Oh, never mind. Sorry about that. So what makes this an A-Spec an A-Spec? Well, there's 19-inch alloy wheels, A-Spec front and rear lower fascias, the mesh grille with the dark chrome surrounding, the side sill garnish, A-Spec steering wheel, which has that little A-Spec badge right there. The A-Spec side garnish, which is, there it is right there. What else do we have here? There's a black roof liner, matte black internal headlights, darkened taillights, interior accent lighting, which is red. You can't see it now, but basically it shows up right in there. It goes around, and it goes around the rest of the car as well. Just very subtle, not kind of in your face and blatant, I guess is a good word for it. There's a power thigh extension. I like that. How do we do this, making it PG? Right, let's do that. So there's my leg. Right at the top of the seat, there's a button. So that's a lot of thigh support. So we'll just retract that a bit. And that's enough of my leg. Sorry for those of you who weren't really expecting that. As I mentioned, the trunk spoiler in black. And yeah, so it's not that it makes it bigger, stronger, or anything. It's just more cosmetic things, but it does look good and give a very nice look to the car. Under the hood, we have a 3.5 liter, 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque engine through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Yes, there are paddle shifters. I don't see the point in them personally. You'll never be able to shift as fast or as accurately as the engine does. If you're into that kind of stuff, hey, cool, great. Me personally, if it's an automatic car I'm driving, I want to use 1 foot, 2 hands, and let the engine do the rest of the work for me. The non-A-Spec trim, or the smaller engine trim, has, I think it's an inline 4 with 206 horsepower. It'll be in the written review for what you don't have here. This specific trim has a technology package. I'm just going to give you a bit of a different view here of these beautiful red leather seats. Tech package has 10 speakers, including a wonderful subwoofer. Sounds great. It's an ELS Studio premium audio system. I mentioned the heated rear seats. Safety wise, there's blind spot information, cross traffic monitoring systems. What else? Standard features are collision mitigation braking, lane departure, lane keep assist, road departure mitigation, and all of that is tucked in here. Not quite all of it, but some of the controls are here. If you're getting too close to a car in front of you, that screen turns into a big orange word that says brake. And if you get closer than the car is comfortable with, it slows you down. So very, very cool feature there. I like the red start stop button. Just overall, I like the fit and finish of the TLX. Cool feature if you're in a condo and you need to have a little bit more space to park. You hit the button just over there, and that folds your mirrors in for a little more space to park with. Nice chrome and wood trim, just subtle enough. I'm not a fan of the wood trim myself, but some people are. And it's right there as well. I think that pretty much covers it as far as the interior goes. Oh, memory seating, 2 spots if you're sharing a car. Your sunroof is there for tilt. I should close that. Oops. Actually, I'm going to open that again for a second because I just want to show you how much or how high the tilt goes up. A little higher than most cars, so you get a little more ventilation swinging through the car. Just going to close that up. Your 3, let's get it focused, garage door openers, there's your Acura Link, there's your 911 assist, door lights on or off, and sunglasses holder. I don't have anything in there. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. We'll mount the camera to the sunroof and do a bit of an actual drive and commentary on the car. again, beautiful, beautiful red interior. Love the seats. Nice side bolsters here to keep you in place. Thigh bolsters, they're good. I'm not going to complain about them. How do we get a little more darkness in here? There we go. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Yeah, thigh bolsters they're good. If we take a look right there, I would have liked it to be a little higher, like not much, maybe like that much more. You know, still very, very, very comfortable seats. But it's the side bolsters that really make a difference, and probably one of the most comfortable seats I've sat in a long time. And the red just gives it a nice cool touch. There's a quick shot of the rear with your three-point seat belts, one on the left, one in the middle, one on the right. Okay, let's stop this now, and when I come back, we will be behind the wheel. All right, we're back with the in-car drive segment of the review for the 2018 Acura TLX A-Spec. Seatbelts on, air conditioning's on. Again, it's a little on the hot side. I think it's late July. Yep, late July. I know my dates. So we can. How do we get it down there a little bit? Yep. So right there are your gear shift controls. So I'm just gonna pop it into drive. Put the screen back up a little bit. All right, and we're good. So with the car being the SHAWD, which stands for Super Handling All-Wheel Drive, you get a lot more precision and control and stability out of the car compared to the PAWS, which I believe is Precision All-Wheel Steering. So all-wheel steering is very different than Super Handling All-Wheel Drive. I'll go through that in detail on the written review. Excuse me. So steering wheel feels very, very nice. It's leather, it's heated. It's not overly thick like the BMWs are, and it's not, you know, paper thin. Like I can't even think of who has a thin steering wheel. Nissan Versa, Nissan Micra. Some of the lower, not different cars. Let's not say lower end cars. So I'm gonna stop because we're on camera and you shouldn't be moving through red lights anyway. Oh, excuse me, I've got a bit of the tail end of a cold. So I'll just tilt the camera down again for a sec. I'm not sure you can see it, but there's a button. Where are we? Can we see it? If we put the armrest up. Yep. So it's called the auto start on off. Basically, if you want to just save a bit of gas, you're going to put that in the on position. I hope this is back the way I found it, maybe. Yeah, it looks like it's about right. As far as the drive goes on this TLX, I've had it for about a week. I do my reviews near the end of my time with the car, so I've got a fair amount of time to experience it and do city driving and highway driving, and if I can, a little bit of rural driving. But I really, really like the way the car feels. I like the way it responds. With the 9-speed automatic transmission, I like that it's not fishing for gears all the time. You know, there's a fair amount of precision as far as the thinking for what the engine does compared to the input of my right foot. Some of these higher speed transmissions can tend to be a little muddy in the middle. You know, does it want 4th or 5th or 6th? Sometimes it'll run up the gears a lot quicker, so you might find yourself, I don't know, let's say in 7th gear doing 60 kilometers an hour, depending on how the gears are spaced and set up. What else can I say about the drive? You know, I haven't taken it on a track or done anything wild with it. But just, you know, for the regular city driving in Mississauga on highways in and around, it's very responsive. Handling is fantastic, and you know, hence the Super Handling All-Wheel Drive moniker for it. But I really, really like the feel of the car here. I know I said I like the 9 gears, and it doesn't fish for gears, but what I find is, you know, slightly cumbersome is the car revs a little high as you get started. So I'm just going to slow it right down. I'm not sure if you can see the speedometer. Yeah, so it's 0. So I'm just gonna, you know, not floor it, but just give it a little bit of gas to get up to speed. So I'm at 3,500 for first. 4,000 for second, 3,000, 2,500 for fourth, 2,600 for fifth, and I'm resting at around 1,500. So I'm just going to take a quick turn here, and I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to give it a little more gas this time, just to see just how high the show you guys how high the revs can go. Again, not in a bad running it way, but just, you know, if you need to get to somewhere, whether it's, you know, out of a collision position, or just somewhere in a bit of a rush, the TLX will definitely get you there. So we're at zeros, resting at 750, and foot down. So the car responds well to a little bit of pressure. 290 horsepower will definitely do that. I'm going to take a bit of a longer way, as opposed to going on the main streets, just to do a couple of twists and turns and just show you what or how responsive the car can be, and in that, for that matter, how responsive the car is. Let me turn the camera a touch that way. That could be a little better. Oh, up there. There we go. I think that should give us everything we need. I lost my train of thought. Completely lost it. It's back. All right, it's back. Who needs editing when you can just do these things on the fly, right? There is your four-way flasher button. Really big, really hard to miss. I know that with Honda, people kind of freaked out that they got rid of the volume button on some of the recent model Honda products, and you know, they didn't like pushing or scrolling or whatever it was the Honda had. And yes, there was a steering wheel mount for your volume control, but I think people are not quite ready to let go of the traditional volume knob, and there it is. A little pet peeve of mine. I really don't like it when manufacturers put the volume knobs on the right side of the steering wheel. I know the video is a little inverted, but I like it having my audio controls on the left side. So if it's on the right side, you know, I may as well move my hand the extra half or inch or 1 inch and just touch the actual volume knob instead of having it here. Yes, I know two hands on the wheel. I understand the logic behind it, but as far as separating it, I've always liked having the volume controls on the left side of the steering wheel. And if I do, for whatever reason, whether I'm at a light or parked, and I want to have, I want to use my right hand for the volume controls, I can do that. I know it seems like a petty thing, but that's that's just how it is with me. The lights are, so the headlights, there's on, off, and your corner lights, which you can go into. And when we're done the video, if I remember, I'll show you the cool thing that Acura does with their off button. It's not an actual set, or not an actual notch. It's just a turn, catch, and release. Again, I'll show you what I mean, and hopefully if I don't forget. And into the turn. And, you know, I really like the quick gear changes that are happening here. I don't want to say I'm knocking the pickup on it, because there is a fair amount of pickup. You know, I wouldn't be upset if Acura put in a little bit more. Some people have asked me, you know, since it's an A-Spec, Jay, why isn't Acura giving this car a little more power? And the short answer is it's financial. It's strictly financial. I don't think that Acura needs to throw in a ton of money for a brand new engine exclusive to this specific class, specific vehicle. So I'm just going to do a little bit of twists and turns into here. We'll go around the back. Right, so back to what I was saying, just really quickly before we do a couple more twists and turns. Could they benefit from having, you know, like a 350 horsepower engine? Sure, maybe. Is it worth the millions of dollars it'll take to invest in it? No, not at all. Yes, I know it's a carryover engine from the outgoing model 2017, but it serves the purpose very, very well. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no need for it to be redone. You know, if it was old and sluggish and was constantly in need of repair, you know, maybe, but they don't need more horsepower. At least in my opinion, they don't need it at all. The 290 is good. So we'll just do a couple of quick turns. So this is how tight your turning radius is. I know there's not an outboard facing camera, but it's still, you know, it's very, very, very responsive. It does exactly what it needs to do. Very little over / understeer in the vehicle as well. Pretty much you point the wheels on where you want to go, and the TLX does exactly that. So yeah, I don't think we can see any part of the road here, but it does handle well. I will absolutely give it that to its credit. You just point the wheels where you want to go and you'll go. This car will do quite well, as Acuras have done well in winter months with the all-wheel drive. Winter tires, always put winter tires on, because, well, you know, that's a whole separate video for a few months from now. I think I've covered everything that I want to in the video as far as exterior, interior handling, and just, you know, the car overall. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, just, you know, leave a comment, flip me an email, you know, however it is you choose to get in touch with me. And yeah, so I'm gonna wait till I get to a safe stop to remove the camera. So I think you're stuck with me for another minute or two. I've seen the car in white. It looks good. I've got a thing for black cars. I've always had black cars. I guess with the exception of my one Honda Accord from 2004, which is blue, but I bought it used, so it didn't really have much of a say. Yeah, so I think I'm just kind of filling the time with the ums and hums and all those silly filler words. So I'm at a stoplight, and yep, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.